The internet has given these classic name bracelets a huge upgrade by using fancy beads and pretty rose gold details. And today I'm sharing how you can make them yourself. With a few of my tips, you'll be able to wear them every day and not worry that one of your kids is going to grab them off of your wrist and have beads all over the floor. Let's get started by talking about some of the supplies. We've got our original black and white letter beads. These are just the same old beads that kids use for their projects, so we've got those. And then the internet went and got amazing and has made white and black acrylic beads. So they're definitely higher quality, and these are both filled with rose gold letters. So they also have gold and silver, but rose gold is my jam like everyone else. So those are the three beads we've got. You're gonna want like a nice little pair of sharp scissors. The next most important is Stretch Magic. We're using this at 0.5 millimeters. Next up is GS Hypo Cement. This is precision glue for jewelry and beading. Check this out. This is the finest tip on a glue I have ever seen, and it's got this fantastic little needle to keep the nozzle clean. So you've got that. Then we have our beads. So sadly, my little local bead shop closed. So I was, and I wasn't really impressed with what was in the craft stores near me. So I went to Amazon and I found this company that has these fantastic beads. Of course, that will be linked. So today we're using some of these. These are 6 millimeter. And then I think these are listed as 6 or 7 millimeter. I'm not sure. That'll be in the blog post. And then we've got 3 millimeter rose gold spacer beads. So we've got spacer beads, we've got our beads. Next up is the Beadsmith jewelry needle. Now this isn't absolutely necessary, but it's so wonderful. I think I picked this one up for 75 cents. This is unlike any needle you've ever seen, unless you've already seen this beading needle. Check it out. When you open it up, can you see that? Oh, you can, great. When you open it up, you actually put the Stretch Magic inside there, and then it closes back to hold it. Now this is really sharp. This is sharp. You've got to be really careful, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later. So we've got our needle. And then what I like to do to keep myself organized and to help prevent my beads from rolling all around is I like to work on a little piece of felt. So I've cut a piece of felt for myself. I've got all my little tools that I need. We've got our Stretch Magic. So I've got some awesome little tips for you today. Some things that I learned while skimming the internet, trying to figure out the best way to make this project. So this Stretch Magic stuff is pretty much the best that you can get for this project, but it has an initial length, and then when you do the first stretch, it stretches out. So tip number 1 is to do a nice solid stretch, like a proper good stretch on this before you do your beading, especially because these are just, these are going to be stretch bracelets, and most of these are going to be for moms or busy women. What women aren't busy? But you can catch them on stuff, and you don't want them to just break immediately or stretch out and then look stupid. So we're going to give a nice little stretch on that first. Then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to work off of the spool. So I'm not going to cut it before, and that kind of helps make it easier too. Okay, so now I've got this all nice and stretched out. My first bracelet is going to be, oops, knocked my camera. My first bracelet is going to be for my son, but maybe I should show you some of the bracelets I've made. So I made bracelets for all the ladies who work for me. We've got some human moms and some dog moms. So we've got the wood and this beautiful rose gold crystal bead. We've got something similar, but here I used the black and rose gold. This is for one of my dog moms. Got a little initials and special word. Then we've got, one of these is for me and one of these is for Shay. This is just, this stone is so pretty. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the perfect dusty turquoise mint color. Then we've got these where I used the OG black and white and with some lava rock. Pretty cool. And then another set for another dog mom with all of her dog's initials. Yeah, 4 dogs. So, okay. So up to my bracelet for my son. I've already got out his letters. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about for the letters is there are some imperfections. So when you look through the letters, there might be like some little tiny imperfection or missing print. You really want to make sure to go over and check all these, each bead selection to make sure that it's free of impurities and things that you don't want, because you know that would make your bracelet look less than fabulous. Okay, his name's Russell, but we call him Russie, so putting the Russie there. This, I'm just absolutely obsessed with this lava rock, so I'm opening this up. Then we're gonna get the needle going with the Stretch Magic. So I'm gonna open this needle up with my fingernail. Sometimes it takes a couple tries. Okay, and unlike pulling this all the way through for sewing, we're just gonna put it through a little bit. So this needle is actually gonna damage that little spot in the Stretch Magic. So I'm gonna cut it off before that, so that's not even gonna be part of our bracelet. So there's that. Now I know for my wrist, it's 22 beads plus this stuff. And I just did that by measuring. I'll show you a little simple way to measure for yourself. But they also have these cool bead container holders that have measurements on them. So you can set your beads in there as you bead to know exactly what measurement you need to get to. Okay, here's something that I learned by just going along with this project. I'm gonna put these couple ones on here that fell off. But to save some time, I'm gonna stick my this ultra fine needle right in this little string, get as many beads as I can, and then pull them through. So that saved a lot of time. So let's see, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. I need 3 more here. So I'm gonna put 3 more in here. Pull those on. Okay, now I'm gonna need some of those rose gold spacer beads, and obviously the design is completely up to you. There's plenty of ideas on Pinterest of, what looks cute, but here I'm gonna do just 1 little rose gold bead. 1 R-U-S-S. I sing all these little songs for the kids. R-U-S-S-E-L-L spells Russell. I'm doing that in my head. Okay. There's that. So now I'm gonna need another 11 lava rock. And if you didn't know the number of your beads or how big to make it for yourself, also because your word length or whatever might change, I'll show you kind of just an easy way to measure. Get a couple on here. 5, that's 9, 10, 11. Now this is pretty quick for as far as beading's concerned. Okay, so that's on there. So now is trick number 2. So to make this bracelet now, I didn't make these using beautiful beads and everything to just like not wear them or have them not last or fall apart, right? So I'm gonna actually string it again. So I'm gonna go back through one more time. So I'm gonna make sure I have enough length here to do that. And then just as easily as I did it the first time, I'm just gonna go right back through. Now this is gonna add a double string to make it extra strong. Because again, us moms, you know these are going to be getting pulled off your wrist, and I want to wear it, and mom, and you know, and then all of a sudden beads are all over the floor. So we want to try to prevent that if we can. So I'm just going to carefully put as many as I can back through. And again, this is one of those reasons why having this beading needle is very nice, because this would take a really long time if you didn't have this needle. So I'm gonna catch those beads here again. Push it through. And we're almost done here. And we're just gonna tie a knot and glue it, and that's how easy it is. Okay, there's a couple more to go. Oh, that loop is still staying there. Come on. Yeah, this needle is fantastic. It's definitely sharp, so you gotta watch yourself. Even just at that push through, it's like, ooh, push it with your nail. This is like, you can even do seed beads, those teeny tiny little beads. You can even do those with this needle. Okay, there we go. So now you see we've got the one string in there, and this is now the second string. So I'm gonna pull that nice and tight. We want it even a little bit tighter. Okay. So now I know I can easily cut this off. So now we're good there. Okay, so if you weren't sure about the spacing of your bracelet, you can do a quick hold here and then slip it on and see like, oh yeah, that's comfortable. Okay, slip it back off. Now again, I'm gonna give it a pull. Okay, so on the Stretch Magic, what is this container package? It shows how to do this surgeon's knot on the back. So it's basically 2 loops, pull it, and then another 1 loop. So that's the kind of knot we're gonna do. I'm going to cut the needle off. I'll just set that over to the side. So you can see we've got 2 separate strands and then that 1 strand in the middle. I'm gonna loop it twice. 1, 2, pull that down, and then I'm gonna loop it again and pull that down. Oops, did that loop? It did not. Sometimes the way that the Stretch Magic is like bending kind of makes it weird to tie the knot, but gotta keep trying. Okay, once we've got the knots secured, you can give it a little tug just to make sure, and then we can snip them real close. There we go. Now it's time for this awesome glue. And I'm gonna try to spread the beads apart a little bit here. And I'm gonna barely push on the glue. It definitely comes out. It just takes a couple seconds. If you push on it too hard, this tube is metal, and and then when you set your glue down, it will continue to like fall out. So you just want to get your glue all over the knot. And then here is my last tip for you. So you take, nobody wants to see a knot of glue. So you take one of the beads and push the knot inside. Isn't that cool? So now you just let it dry, and nobody would ever know that there is a knot full of glue in there. It's fantastic.